Right, and in this section, we see that these are really short, kind of quick sections. Oftentimes, I might combine them together. In this section, we have my picture that I put up here on my slides. The president is talking. He's like, "I'm bored. Anyone want to come by for a tea party? You just got to dress well," because that was the reality of the American government when the Constitution was passed. That there were so few people here and it was hard to get around. You can just drive places. So really, the invitation existed mostly to people who lived in and around the city of DC. But the White House was open for visitors, and you could actually show up and have tea with Washington. Imagine. Um, another part of my slide, I put a politician who says, "I voted on the bills for the year. I'm going home to do my other job, which is a farmer." Yeah, the politicians would go home and they would go and finish their crops for the year. They would be allowed to go home and plant and then come to DC and pass a few laws and then go back home to harvest. There was very little going on in our government. Um, I have down here when the country was first created, politicians often had second jobs, often farming their land. Politicians would go home in August and not come back till the end of harvest season, sometimes going home to sow the fields in March as well. Look, I saw a lot of your facts that you were posting on my Padlet saying that 24 laws were passed by the Senate only, and 143 were passed in the House of Representatives. Today, those numbers are thousands of laws in the Senate, and in as many, even more so in the House, um, possibly tens of thousands. It's ridiculous how slow business was in DC when this government first started, um, which says a lot about what our government does and its expanded powers that it's gained since then. Also about just the times. Travel was hard, movement was hard, communication was hard, and life was just so different when this Constitution was passed, which leads to question, how can we keep our Constitution updated? And we're going to find out in our next section that it's through the amendment process, that we have a process to make sure that these laws written before electricity, okay, before any of our modern world, when these people had no clue what 2020 would look like, that there is a way for our Constitution to evolve with our country, with our modern world in the amendment process. So we're going to get there, but it's just interesting to take a look back at the differences that existed.